By the end of this episode, you'll see how Switzerland's approach to healthcare, staffing, and lifestyle could help you avoid burnout and create real lasting wealth in your practice. Welcome to the Independent Physician's Blueprint with your host, Coach JPMD. That's me, where we help younger physicians decrease stress and increase income by transitioning from corporate to independent practices, even without any business experience. In this episode, you'll discover how the Swiss model could help reduce your stress and extend your career, why more nurses in smaller systems might be exactly what physicians need in this country, and how applying these principles can help you build long-term wealth and longevity inside and out of your medical practice, particularly with the help of forward-thinking governmental bodies who have the best interests of its citizens at heart. So welcome to the Independent Physician's Blueprint, where we help physicians to decrease stress and generate wealth in this crazy world we're living in. And we're continuing our longevity series and trying to wrap that up with fifth country in the world that lives longer than the rest of us in the United States, and that's Switzerland. And so last week we had a brief pause with Memorial Day, had a replay episode. And today we're continuing on trying to finish up the series. And maybe we'll include a couple of countries in one episode next time. But today we're going to talk about Switzerland and kind of go over where is Switzerland? So if you don't know, it borders France, Germany, Austria, Liechtenstein, and Italy. Got a population of 8.967 million. So it's almost 9 million people live in Switzerland in 2025. And their life expectancy with the average age is 84.2, with women living on average 80 to 86.1 years of age and men 82.3. Again, a common thread and a common theme in longevity where women are living longer than men. Healthcare system. Well, there's a public and private healthcare system in Switzerland, and it is divided into 26 cantons, is what I read. They run their own government as well as their own healthcare system. And I believe they actually compete. And there is an overarching federal body that dictates overall policies. And I guess it would be similar to the US, where we have the 50 states and we have each state independently providing healthcare. But I think they do it a little bit different because they have more hospitals per capita at 4.5, which is the top number, I think, short of Spain. No, actually, it was 4.5 in terms of hospitals per 1,000. Physicians per 1,000 was 4.4 compared to Spain, which is 4.5. And then you've got nurses and nurse midwives. They have the highest number of nurse and nurse midwives than any country that I've researched. And that's at 18.8 versus the US at 11.9. So they have more nurses and midwives than most of the world. And that may be contributing to the ability to keep their population living longer. As far as religion, the 58% claim and profess to be Christian in 2022. That's a tremendous decrease from the 1900s, where 99% of Swiss were Christian. There's been a decline from the 80s, where it was about 93% Christian faith. Now it's 58%. And there was a sharp rise in the non-religious, or people who say that they have no religion, from zero or very little to about 33.5%. As far as mortality, what are Swiss dying of? Well, it's not unsimilar. It's similar to other countries that we've discussed. Ischemic heart disease is number one cause of death, is Alzheimer's disease, COVID. And again, this is an issue with the World Health Organization. We're still looking at 2022 data. COVID is number 3. Strokes, number 4, and lung cancer or bronchial cancer, number 5. So, tidbit fact, I was reading on Switzerland. There's a couple of other things that I saw that were a little intriguing, and that is that people are just happier in Switzerland. Although they do spend more money than we do. The cost of living is higher in Switzerland than the US. Found this on the livingcost.org website. Cost of living for one person in Switzerland is $2,800 and $2,846 versus $2,498. So the gross domestic product per capita is $99,565 versus $82,769. Food expenses are much higher. So it basically costs 14% more to live in Switzerland than the United States. So I thought that was interesting. But, they live longer. So does that mean that we should be spending more money in the US to get to the point where we are living longer? Now, the population is much smaller, so it's easier to control a population of 8.9, and I shouldn't say control. It's easy to manage or shepherd a population that is smaller than the 340 million people that we have in the US. So could that be a factor? So next week, we learn about the French Polynesian, which is the fourth longest lived country in the world. We'll learn some more. I'm learning every week, and I hope you are too. And we'll see you next week. So here's what you've learned today. We broke down some stats as to why Switzerland, despite its high cost of living, is one of the top 5 longest living countries in the world. We look at how their decentralized healthcare system, high nurse-to-patient ratios, and smaller, more manageable population may be keeping them healthy. Now, next week, we're heading to a place you probably wouldn't expect, the French Polynesian. Yes, this is an island of paradise. It ranks even higher in global longevity. And we're going to dig into how culture, connection, and lifestyle could be the real medicine we've been kind of overlooking. So you don't want to miss that. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast. If you'd like to hear more, subscribe, follow in your favorite podcast app so you'll never miss an episode.